Well, as we mentioned, today is Earth Day. And if you are looking for a simple but yet magical way to celebrate today, I'm super excited to be watching this today. On Disney Plus, there is a new series from National Geographic. It's called Secrets of the Whales. Take a look.
This one female adult orca came in and, was sort of checking me out. It was kind of looking at me, checking out the ray. It was kind of like, are you going to have that? Because if not, I'm going to go grab it. And then just sort of picks it up and almost poses for me. He just kind of lifts her head up. It was really remarkable.
I have goosebumps, and we are now joined by who you just saw there, Brian Scary, one of the world's top ocean photographers, who also happens to work with National Geographic. He's an explorer photographer. What an honor to have you join us on this Earth Day. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Carly. It's a great pleasure.
So I am fascinated by this. Take us back to the beginning, because this is 3 years in the making. Mm-hmm. When you set out on this adventure, how does it get pitched? Do you go in to the National Geographic folks and say, hey, I want to do this? Do they come to you and say, hey, Brian, will you check this out for us? How did this happen?
Right. So I created the idea. I've been working for National Geographic for about 23 years, and mostly for the magazine, and create these stories about the underwater world. And with this one, I had a very ambitious idea based on the latest science that I was reading and talking to researchers about the fact that whales have these rich cultures, not unlike humans, that they have ancestral traditions and they pass them down to their children, to their offspring. So I originally pitched it to the National Geographic magazine, and then I went to TV and then to books, and we ultimately created all three products. And the series, of course, got ramped up to Disney Plus, who is a parent of National Geographic. And 3 years, 24 locations from the equator to the poles, looking at 5 different whale species and their cultures.
All right. So if you can, what was the most kind of surprising thing that you learned, after spending all these times with these magnificent creatures and all these years?
Yeah, well, based on the research, I had a certain understanding about these cultures, the fact that they are doing things differently in different parts of the world within a genetically identical species. But that being said, it's sort of academic until you're out there with them and you see their parenting techniques. You see sperm whales babysitting for one another. You see them isolating by dialect, that, one group of whales that speaks one language isn't necessarily intermingling with another group, that orcas, as we showed in the clip, have different food preferences in different parts of the world, and that they also have personality. They exhibit joy and grief. They play games. They sing songs. So much of these things that really, in many ways, mirror human society.
That's fascinating. Is there still one thing that you really want to find out more about, or that just kind of left you more kind of mystified than ever?
Well, yeah, at the end of the day, we are revealing, I think, many of the secrets of the whales. But the truth is, we're just scratching the surface. There's so much more that we don't know. And studying animals in the ocean is a challenge. There's all kinds of obstacles in the way. But at the end of the day, I think it's an exciting time for whale research. And in the time ahead, so much more will be learned.
So I'm fascinated with this idea of research and how you, as a photographer and obviously an explorer, it's one thing to be a talented photographer, and then to also know when to go in and study these animals and these creatures. It's pretty cool that you're able to really do both.
Yeah, well, I love what I do. I've been diving and exploring the world's oceans for over 40 years. And the research is a big part of it. National Geographic values photographers and filmmakers coming to them with good ideas. So this is my wheelhouse. It's what I love to do. So I'm friends with a lot of scientists, whether they're sea turtle scientists or shark biologists or whales. I'm always speaking to them. And I often describe what I do as parachuting into their lives and trying to give visual context to their work. So that's what it's really about. It's a partnership and a team effort in many ways.
I can't wait to watch this. My 2 older kids are 7 and 8. I want to watch this with them. What advice do you have, for kids? That's the goal, right? We want them to see that we're not going to be able to see and get this up close with whales anytime soon, and especially on Earth Day.
Well, I think, my hope for audiences, children or adults alike, watching this series is that first and foremost, they're entertained. There's some wonderful moments in here. It's all a celebration of these whale cultures. But maybe if we do see that world through the lens of culture, that it's a bit of a game changer. It helps us see our world in a new way, that, we are not the only intelligent species on this planet, and that we're sharing this ocean planet with this other rich culture in the ocean. So I think that changes our perception. We're not above or apart from nature, but we are intimately connected to it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see the people that are all involved in this. Sigourney Weaver, I know, is going to be the voice of this. Did you have any hand of picking out who you wanted to narrate this?
Well, it's funny. Ultimately, it wasn't my choice. I was a producer on the film, but I didn't pick her. But we all, I think many of us involved in the production, thought from the very beginning that Sigourney Weaver was the perfect narrator.
Yeah.
She brings such gravitas. And, many of these whale families are matrilineal. They are led by the wisest and strongest female. So she really gives voice to that in a perfect way that only she can.
Oh, well, Brian, I wish we had more time. I absolutely love talking with you. I saw some manatees. I was up on your social media accounts this morning.
Yeah.
So I see you've been to Florida a little bit and captured some of our wildlife here.
Many times. I love Florida, and there's so much richness to the wildlife there. So always looking for a reason to come back.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us this morning and helping us celebrate Earth Day. I just think this is so cool. Again, what a treat to talk with you.